What's guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the final episode of 86. This one's titled Here We Go. Now I say final because I am aware that there is a special episode that comes out after this next week. To what context that special episode is, I do not know. I don't know if it's just like an OVA type thing, detailing events that are relevant between this core and the next core, which again still doesn't have a release date. Which has me concerned that maybe we're not getting a completely true split core show that we're used to with things like Moriarty, Slime, ReZero, and stuff like that. Because normally if you have an air date of October, which is what you would have for a show like this if you're doing a true split core, so one season on, one season off, one season on, you would have announced an October date by now, and there are plenty of October shows that have already announced their dates by now. It might just be late in being certain about it, or maybe they're just being cautious about whether the production will take a little bit longer. But I would have expected October, honestly. So maybe they'll be delaying it till winter 2022, so January, which would be unfortunate, but still, it's nice to know that there is definitely more coming. To what context that more is, we don't know yet. Obviously we know it's another at least 11 or 12 episodes, but we don't really know how the story is going to go, because as far as I'm aware, this story was written, the first volume, was kind of written as a standalone, and then the author, after winning an award for it, decided to keep it going, as far as I'm aware of how the story came about. So, I don't know if the special is meant to help bridge the gap between what would be Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the source material, or if it's going to be like information on the second core upcoming, if it's like is it just an actual animated episode? Is it going to be like some live action stuff of the cast and production stuff? I don't quite know what this special episode will be. So I guess we'll have to wait till next week. I'm hoping Crunchyroll picks it up, whatever it is. I assume so, but I guess we'll see. Basically, I have no context of what that is. So, but last time out, we followed our 5 remaining Juggernauts of the 86ers. Limited supplies, limited ammunition, but now that we've dealt with Shin's brother, and he's kind of free from that kind of binding, it's a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere, and they kind of just are exploring and just trying to get by, and we float around the idea of, well, the Legion, from what we know of the Legion, they don't really go beyond the territory that they kind of have already been assigned. So they're not spreading out like everywhere and just going around like a plague. They're very specifically focused on the Republic, and anywhere else, so any neighboring nations don't seem to be getting attacked, at least from what we know. So if we can find another one of those nations and go there to seek refuge, maybe we can do alright. Question is if we can physically get there based on the amount of supplies we had left, because we didn't have many supplies left, and it looks like Fido's destroyed at the end of that episode. Maybe we'll get some context as to how Fido got destroyed this time. That would be kind of interesting. But, yeah. It doesn't seem likely that we'll be able to make it. I'm genuinely curious if they will actually kill off any more at this point, because I thought it'd be interesting to have a split story. So focusing on Lena in the Republic and working on things there, versus these 5 out here who are trying to survive and get by. I thought it'd be an interesting cut back forth to see how they're each doing, and then they'll reconvene in the future. And to that point, I think maybe this episode will focus a bit more on Lena, because we had a whole episode focused on their struggles here. We'll probably continue to follow them to find out what happened to Fido, but I'm assuming we'll get some Lena content as well for the end of the season, to decide what is going on in her mind and what she's planning to do now that she's lost contact with them, and just has to assume that they might be dead, they might not be. They'll go until they have supplies, at least. Who knows how long that'll be, I suppose. So. But whether they continue that split story up into the second core or not, I guess we'll see. But one thing I do want to mention on Fido, because I have a lot of theories about Fido. We saw in the whole recounting its memories as it's destroyed. We saw one specific image which was dated before the war started, in the presence of Youngshin and his brother, as well as Annette, and seemed to be a lot smaller. So it's possible that Fido began life as a small experiment by maybe Annette's dad, and Shin and everyone was just it was like a friendly little toy robot, essentially. Maybe it was the start of AI, who knows? But at the same time, since Shin could perfectly understand it, and we know his ability is to understand the voices of the dead, essentially, it kind of made me think that maybe there is a living component to Fido in some sense. Maybe that's a unique thing for these resupply bots, maybe it's not. I guess we'll see. Fido definitely seems to be a uniqueness. Maybe it's just because Shin has spent so much time growing up with it, in theory, that it just kind of makes sense for him to understand it in a way. Because it was like a developing AI type thing that Annette's father maybe was making, but the fact that that image even exists is very, very interesting and implies there's a greater bit of mystery there to what the Republic kind of has done with AI technology. Because don't forget, like, Fido is an AI. He's not a combat AI, he's a resupply AI, but it's still an AI, and a relatively complex one at that. And seems to mimic some of the complex abilities of what the Legion could be. So I'm wondering if there's like a Republic Empire both going for the same solution, but the Republic never really went full into it and just decided on the whole 86 principle of getting rid of undesirables and all that nonsense when it comes to like the ethical cleansing essentially of the nation. But yeah, I have a lot of thinking to do around that because that's a very small bit of information, but could have so many large consequences in the future, depending on how much we learn about the Republic and the Legion and the Empire and everything that went on to get to this situation, which I'm sure this story will divulge into. I have absolute faith in the creator of this show, or the light novel, I should say. I have absolute faith in that, and A1 Pictures seems to be doing a fantastic job of presenting it here in anime form, so I'm hoping this could be a long-term production that follows through to the completion of the light novel when that day eventually arrives, but I guess we'll see how long-term of a project this ends up being. So, anyway, go and load the episode up here. As per usual, these are time-based format accents here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down the description below. £4 per month gets you access to all Patreon picture reactions I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, Symphonica G, and Lock Rise Season 2. We also have movie reactions, with next weekend being I Want to Eat Your Pancreas the movie. It was meant to be this weekend, but I had to delay it. Apologies. We also have on Monday, so tomorrow, the Saga of Tanya the Evil's special OVA that just got randomly released, which is Operation Desert Pasta, which is just a fantastic name, and I love it. So we'll be doing that tomorrow as well as a bit of a special. But here on YouTube we do time-based, so bottom left of the screen you'll see a time for the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. Then on play side episode, I side episode, and we should be in sync. Watch this one on Crunchyroll as per usual since they licensed this series. No logos or anything to start with, we're just straight into the episode from a black screen. You can use the screen flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. That should help you sync it up as well. With all that said, let's get into the, in theory, finale of this show, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. October 1st. Oh, this is the same day that Fido died. Oh yeah, we came under attack, okay. Yeah. Yep. These small arms aren't going to do much versus the bigger legions, are they? Okay, we still one Juggernaut operational. It's Shin, of course. Oh, Fido took a hit. Took a hit to protect one. Whew. And OP time, okay. Still the fact it's just those 5. Alright, here we go. Aftermath of the battle. How many of us survived? Poor Fido. Yeah. Yeah, we really won't. Okay, we all survived. Hmm. Oof. Hmm. Makes sense. Can you hear them? Cave. Okay. Lovely weather. Did you know it was going to rain or what? There they are. Managed to avoid that one. Yep. Which means he's hearing more and more voices, probably. Another town. Horsey. What's that sign say? Elementary school, huh? Mm-hmm. Bunch of writing. It's adorable. Hmm. No. Why? I mean, yeah. Yeah. Hanukkah workbook? Hmm. I remember like the flowers and stuff like that normally is a signifying of good job. Time 31st. Hmm. Yep. I wonder, with limited fuel like that, wouldn't you maybe just consider staying there? Oh, hello. Hmm. He knows. He knows that they're about to get into a fight, doesn't he? Like, no way would he just do it because he's bored. Dan detaches himself. Okay. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nice transition. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Sound design, I love you. Oh, moving back. Oh, oh, God, it's so visually and yeah, of course they're going. He's got a fairly long barrel rifle on him. Yep. What? princess? Huh? Who's this individual? Oh boy. Oh, we're saying dark. Oh boy. Okay, maybe he didn't have a long barrel. It's just the way it was shown. Oh, don't worry, they will. Assault rifles aren't going to do much. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh, what the fuck are these? Oh, that's creepy. That's very creepy. But interesting. Are they suicide bombers? Oh god. Oh dear. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Will Shin be able to shoot himself before... That was only half the episode as well. Okay, now we're back in time. For Lena's side, okay. So just over 2 weeks back in the past. Close to 3. We meeting new Spearhead, or are we going to see where they were at? Oh boy. Resupply bots. New equipment. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. 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 This is absolutely going to be a first. Ah, okay. But hides it. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. He could be lying, but that is a relief, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But none of them ever do. Yep. Hmm. Interesting. It's also possible they might have died before the Legion was doing its Voice of the Dead thing, but... Now, Shin left something in a drawer, did he not? One of them left something in a drawer. Wonder if she'll find it. Hmm. No. Follow the kitty cat. Straight to the drawer. Left the toy, okay. All quiet on the Western Front, huh? Some notes. What do they say? Hmm. Yep. Oh, wow. A very blurry picture, but it is all of them. Oh, adorable. What did Shin write? What did he write? Oh boy. Hmm. Head's gone. Oh boy. I think there's an after credits. Yeah, there's an after credits. We'll see what it is. Oh, what an ending. So they have killed off basically everyone then, right? I think that's the entire squad gone. I think. I have to go back and check, just make sure we saw everyone. Well, they were all unconscious. It wasn't very graphic about their current situation. Shin was the only one that was like visibly beat up from it, and we don't know what he did. Did he let? Did he just let his head get taken? It seemed like he was kind of allowing it. And whose voice was it that was cursing them for getting close to the princess? I wonder. It's been such good ED as well. I love the simplicity of their ED visuals as well. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Special edition. The poppies bloom red on the battlefield. Okay. Wow. So yeah, I guess they have killed off everyone then, huh? Let me just double check. First of all, these creepy, like, humanoid things are beautifully creepy, for sure. Like, beautifully creepy. They're weak to small arms fire, but they seem just like suicide bombers, essentially. They don't seem to carry any other weapons and are purely built for speed and getting to the target and exploding. Seem to be very efficient for, say, I guess they'd be suitable for human population, probably. Like, if they ever break down the wall of the Republic, just start shoveling thousands upon thousands of these in, and then just systematically just start going into every building and destroying yourself. Just tear down entire buildings at a time. If you ever find a crowd of people, easy. Makes you wonder, though. Because, like, these, I guess these are pretty good for anti-personnel as well. Even if they are weak to small arms fire, it's just the sheer numbers that will probably benefit them. But at that point, you'd probably just use artillery, right? I guess artillery has its accuracy problems, so maybe that's why they wouldn't favor artillery for going after, especially a small number of troops. Where I'm curious about these things. Do they also have voices of the dead as part of them as well, or do they not? Are they just purely autonomous, or are they a creation of the Legion afterwards, or were these like an early type before the Legion became these sophisticated machines? I wonder. I'm curious about these things. But then yeah, I wanted to go back. So yeah, there goes Theo, whatever you want to call him. Let's see. Explosions, falls. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We still all of them unconscious on the floor. Not dead. Just want to point that one out real quick. They're not shown as dead. Because they're, well, at least covered in blood or anything, or any of the typical wounds you'd expect with having an explosion right next to you. So, for now, I will not confirm that they are dead. I will say I am not going to say for certain that they are dead. Because that's not a good showing of a dead individual, if that makes sense. I feel like this show would be quite happy to be more gruesome about their deaths if they wanted to show it. But they are implying that Shin has had his head taken, which is going to be a problem for the future. They are implying that. Where is the bit about the artillery? Let's see, where was that? Here it is. Here it is. Whose face was that? Let's see what we can find. Not many clues from that. I can't mixing over my words. The men, the women, the children, the old, the nobles, the peasants, so just wanting to kill everyone. So this is like regular army fighting by the looks of things. Yeah, it just looks like normal. Yeah, there's the Empire flag there with military marching over it. Is that the flag of the Republic? Do I have an image of the Republic flag? I guess we do in like episode 1. Hang on. 86 Republic flag. What is the design of their flag? Okay, so it's that logo and that emblem there. That is not them. No, that's not the Republic. Is it the Empires? Yeah, that's the Empire flag. Okay, so it's the Empire flag being flown. I guess this one's the view of him, the person who's talking, I guess. Everyone who threatens the princess. And we even see the princess for a time there. And the image before is a very crazed looking face. There is the princess. Princess of who? We don't know. Unlikely a Republic princess, because, well, maybe. But it very much seemed like the Empire was the one waging the war. Although they were kind of, soldiers were trampling the Empire flag, so maybe it was... It's possible that maybe this was an attack on the Empire, and this is this person... Because actually, how did the war start? How did the war start? Because I think in the Republic propaganda and what we've been told of the series, the Empire declared war on us, right? Maybe that's a lie. Or maybe we specifically went after the princess early on in the campaign before the like AI and like stuff became more advanced that we could actually fight with just them alone when we were actually winning for once, but maybe we were the aggressors that started it, and just because that's an inconvenient fact for us and the narrative we're pulling, we kind of discarded that as well. I mean, if you're capable of committing a genocide on people who do not look like a certain type, you're very willing to just start a war and then cover it up and say you didn't do it. Like, that's small fry at that point, right? But we do have an image of this princess. It does not look like anyone I think we've met. I don't think. Does not look recognizable in any way. Again, darker haired. I don't think it's a character we've met yet. I don't think we've met this character yet, no. I don't think we have. I'm sure she'll become relevant, though. I'm sure there's going to be some relevancy to her character. Kill everyone who threatens the princess. So let's assume she's the Empire. Princess to the Empire, we'll say. Everyone who threatens the princess. I guess we'll see. But I'm sure that's going to be a plot point for Season 2, or Part 2 of Season 1. And that voice is wanting to defend the princess more than anything else is what's controlling the long-range artillery. Interesting. So this long-range artillery is a Shepherd of a different design. So we had the brother, obviously, which had like the nanomachine arms, as well as just having a big fuck-off cannon. It seems as though this next Shepherd that, in theory, we would deal with would be an artillery-based one. Capable of extreme long-range and precise shelling, which is honestly super cool. I really love this idea. And the fact that they continue to use the shot of the shot coming through the clouds and just like opening a massive hole into the clouds as the shell comes through, I still love that shot. Like, that shot will never become boring to me. And then the impact on the ground, like, I've got it paused on one of the explosions here as it's paused mid-explosion. That looks just so good. Like, it doesn't look like typical anime-style explosion. It just looks so good. Maybe it's a bit too see-through, considering how much dust and stuff that would probably kick up, but it's still very stylized and cool, and I love it. But yeah, what a series this has been. What a series this has been. Like I said, I don't know what the special episode is going to entail. I don't know if it's going to be some more content to bridge the gap between this and the next core, if it's going to be information on the next core, like... Because it is listed as a special broadcast, not as an episode 12 or anything like that. So I don't know if it's going to be purely story-related in that sense, if it's going to be backstory on certain characters or something, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be an introductory episode for the new characters, because I'm assuming Lena is going to get acquainted with the new Spearhead Squadron. Maybe we're going to learn who they are and get to know them, as well as who's going to be playing them as voice actors, because I feel like we're basically recasting the entire show at that point. What would be interesting is if they use the same cast for the people in the show, but just give them new faces as 86ers. That'd be interesting. It'd be a good budget-saving idea, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea, but I guess we'll see what they plan to do. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this series as much as I did. We'll see what the special broadcast next week entails. Hopefully Crunchyroll covers it. I'm assuming they will. But leave a like if you did, as well as your comments, what you thought of this final episode, as well as the series as a whole, now that it's concluded, at least in this part. If you find out, like, if there's any information about the actual air date of Part 2, if that comes out at any point in the, like, near future, because I'm recording this, they might announce something by the time this video goes up. You never know. It's going to be about 12 hours before this video goes up, so there's plenty of time for, like, content to be uploaded in that time. Please let me know any information you find. Official sources, obviously, would be much appreciated, rather than saying, oh, it'll probably come out this time, because, like, I'm assuming it's coming in October or January, but an actual official date from someone would be nice. Maybe that's what the special broadcast will give. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well. We've got plenty of other Spring 2021 shows that are also wrapping up soon here on the channel. We'll be covering the Summer 2020 season here as well. I'll be putting up a video announcing all the shows and stuff that I'm looking at and how my schedule is going to go for them, so stay tuned for that as well. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.